Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining TRANSNATION, TRANSNATION in conversation today. TRANSNATION is a coalition of artists and art-related people established 3 years ago when a military coup happened in Myanmar in support of the people of Myanmar. And it has been 3 years since the coup in Myanmar. So we have three guest speakers today to tell us about what has been going on in the last 3 years. And we are going to have a casual conversation style so that we could ask questions to these three speakers, and we can think about what we can do to support continuously for the people. And today we're going to have speakers from Myanmar, Yadanar Wen, Zoncy, and Chaw Thein. And Chaw will be moderating the sessions. And I would like to give the floor to Chaw.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining with us. This kind of thing is very important for us to share our thought and experience with our colleague, our friends around the world. And today we three of us, fortunately or unfortunately, we three are women, but next time we will try to include all the other men. First of all, today is February 3rd. Last 2 days ago, in February 1st, was our 3 years anniversary. So military coup in February 1st, 2021, after election in 2020. The military junta thought they're losing power. So even the people elected government win landslidely at the election. So they're not satisfied, especially the people like who didn't win the election. Talk to military like this election is sham and fraud election. So all the results are not correct because they lose, but they're not from the people like us who voted, like my father, my mother. So the party who are lose in the election, they cooperate with military, then they seize the power easily. Because we never thought they will do it again. Because I've been like 54 years old all my life. You know, we've been in the revolution, all my life. I thought like last 5 years after Aung San Suu Kyi and NLD win the election in 2015, and the country is moving forward like gradually. We try to fix whatever we need to do, from the daily, everything, almost everything. So we thought like we will never go, back to the situation like 30 years ago, 20 years ago. But on that day, it happened. It's happened. So I would like to share a few slides, which I can prove what's going on last 3 years. So as I'm a moderator, I would like to introduce, what we plan for today. So I'm going to show what's happened in the last 3 years. After that, and my colleague, my friends, my fellow artists, Yadanar and Zoncy also will share their experience, what's happened to them, and also what they're doing right now to be free from, military dictatorship. And also TRANSNATION will explain what TRANSNATION is doing with the artists around the world, and also how TRANSNATION can help us. So then we will have a answer question. So before that, let me share some slides, then you will understand what's going on over there. So for me is I would like to explain past 3 years, and then a little bit about current situation in Burma. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So, but saying like current situation in Myanmar, but I would like to start with the beginning, so how we've been through. So then I'm going to end it up with the current situations, what's going on with some information. So this is Burma, Myanmar. When I moved to the United States, no one know where is, not so many people know where is Burma. So I always keep the slide as the first one to show the audience, where I came from. So this is Burma. So you will see all the neighboring countries like India, China, and Thailand, and Laos, and Bangladesh. Right after military coup, people come out because they want to express what they want to say, what they want let the military know about. This is not right. You're doing wrong. So this is our desire. And this is also what we did. We voted, and the election is held under the situation like, I think, the second wave of pandemic. But at the time, people were afraid of not to lose the military. I mean, from not to take away our freedom by the military. So people knew it. So even my father, my mother are like 70 years, 80 years. My sister told them, stay home, people will come and collect your vote. But what they answer, I can go there because I want to make sure my vote. Then they left the house and they voted. You will see here, so many people are showing, what is it? So look at this. So a few weeks later, a few months later, we cannot really come out into the street to protest because they start to kill us. All the bullets, go into the head and the heart. So we have so many pictures to witness, but I don't want to show those photos here, but you can find online. But I'm also collecting those photos from the news media and the online, posting. So you will see in these pictures, when the people could not go out, so they just, still showing, what they want to say. So all the the poster, they're standing outside. You will see, the people are checking the situation, whether it is okay or not. You will see, just some people are recording, you will see. And you can also read all the slogan. Help us save Myanmar, stop crime against humanity. People keep saying. And this is another slide. I have so many slides like that, with the many crowded, in protest, and also non, person, but only the object, because, the life is not saved by later. And then we use all the methods, as a non-violence in the very beginning. So people try to use all the method like street protests, demonstration, or white campaign, red campaign. And also sometimes, I saw in the photos, so some farmers, they are in the, working hour, like planting. At the same time, they did their, protest, like, at the same, the one hand is, holding the, what is it, the plant. And then the other hand, they hold the sign and help us. And we want back our freedom and so on. So then this is one of the method we use. In our Burmese culture, we make a like sound, if you, hit the pots and pans, especially in the like sunset time before the sun go down, you hit it because you can drive all the evil. So that's what we did. Almost, every day at the 8 o'clock, we start to make a bang, bang, bang. But what they did, they cannot hear those kind of sounds, so they arrested. I think a few weeks later, they arrested the people who hit the pots and pan to express their, their rights and what they want. We arrested around 200 people for doing that. Can you believe it? We don't have a right to say what we want. Then start the violence. They start to kill, shoot the innocent people who are showing what they want and what they want to say. You can see. I have many photos which is worse than this scene, but I cannot show here. And then later on, all the protesters, especially young protesters, still in the street, even they are like shooting them. So you will see all the like cover, actually when you shoot it, those, I forgot that name, it cannot really protect them because we have many young students die on the spot, on the street, hit by those bullets. So we have many. That is one of them. Then what they did, they killed the protester, they tried to crash down violently, and then they start to burn down the villages, especially stuff from Chen, Karenni. So this is, one area you can see I saw in Chen State. Look at this. So if they suspected like someone is involving in the revolution, even one or two, or this village, they just burned down. Some people die alive in the fire. I have those photos, but I cannot show here because it's too much. And you will see all the burning down. Then what happened? People has to leave their home. They left home to get the shelter to save their life. You can see this lady, how much he been like worried to survive. So how they've been, hiding and, left their home and even the, they burned down their village, their house. They didn't give up. They always say, we must end this regime. We must end this military junta and never ever come back and involving in politics. The military should be under the people elected government, or what people really want. So you will see people try to ask, help around the world. But unfortunately, not like Ukraine, not like Gaza, like Palestine and Israel. My country, even now 3 years, we didn't get the help as much as we expected. Until now, we are helping our own people, only the like, we Burmese helping each other. So sometimes we say like we have only our own people. So don't expect any others external or international, help. So we still standing up to fight back till now. So what happened a few months ago? As you know, in Burma, we have many EROs. We call like ethnic revolutionary organizations. In Shan State, Kachin State, Rakhine State, those ethnic people are fighting for their freedom since, I think before independence, like 1947, 48. Some ERO are even earlier than that time. They've been fighting for so long to get back their own freedom. So this time, those revolutionary armed groups are more united than ever. I've been witnessing and fighting back to the military junta. You know what happened now? Military junta is alone. He's alone because we are around him to get back our freedom. So in this picture, you will see, and you can see the flag, not their flag. So they fought back the military, the evil terrorist military, and they win it. So nowadays, the military is only, facing so many battle area, all direction, north, northwest, south, you can name it. So I can show all the red area. This is from the government of UK, United Kingdom issue a statement, a notice or warning. So you will see all the red area advise against all travel. It's very dangerous now because all fighting area or all the civil war is going on. And you will see the orange area advise against all but essential travel. So when you look at this map, you will see how the civil war spreading out almost the whole country. Only the two area like Naypyidaw where they are, they were now, and then Rangoon and Ayeyarwady. So rest of the area are fighting every day. They kill people, every day. Not only on the ground, but also airstrike and bombing, everything they do it. So increased fighting between terrorist military and ethnic revolutionary organization, we call it EROs, as I mentioned you. So those crisis areas has, at the same time, I really want to let you know, increased strain on access and limited humanitarian aid to those areas. I think later on, Zoncy can explain more what's going on there and how we've been trying to help the people there who displaced, who left their house. So we are really, seriously facing deepening humanitarian crisis. And every day, the economic, social, health crisis is growing in the bigger number. You know what the military is facing now? Heavy attack. So some people said assault from anti-coup forces. So nowadays, you can read many, some journalists might, start to write about the junta lose control, about how they lose control. Because after October 27, we call like 10/27. The three brothers ERO groups started a serious attack. So they've been, especially the North and Northwest, then they start to keep the land. And I think within 2 weeks, they got like 200 plus like military base. That's what we learned. So since the beginning, as I'm a member of MCA, we artists, you know, stand up to show, you know, solidarity with the people in the street, the protesters. So MCA also express, you know, what we should say. So this is in downtown Rangoon, right before the crash down. So we try our best to stand up to show our solidarity. And what happened these days? This is one of the example. On the 3-year anniversary, last 2 days ago, we did the silent strike. After 2 years, 1 year later, 2 years later, we cannot really do the street protests or strikes, you know, especially in the cities. So they will arrest, or you will hear in some media wrote one day, maybe in 2021 or early 2022, the students did a street protest in Myanmar. The one of the cars, you know, run into the crowd and hit the protesters. That is how they've been brutally crushed down. This is only the, you know, one example. And you will see in these pictures, people are posting about the silent strike. And then they have their lobbyists. One of the lobbyists, his name is Han, and he has a Telegram channel. So he always posts if he found on social media, like someone is supporting revolution, or someone is, if they suspect someone is sending money or whatever they support, you know, revolution or Aung San Suu Kyi or our government, national, you know, NUG government. So he will record and he will post on his Telegram. You will see here, these girls, this is Nars, and then here is a guy from Mandalay, and he posts his name and then address. You will see address, and you will see here silent strike and white campaign he involved. That's why they've been he been posting about those people, and then a few days later, you know, they were arrested. So that's, you know, even you cannot post anything. Even I can't post. Because once I post it, the first person who gonna, you know, stop me is my family. You are okay, you are living in the United States, but we are stay here. They will come and arrest us and come and, you know, threaten our life. So you cannot do that. Can you, you know, take it down? So my father will call me and my sister will call me. Even I'm living in outside the country, I cannot do it. Where is the freedom of expression? That's the question. This is what's happening now. This is a current situation. So according to the AAPP, you will see like total arrested is 25,959. You can see all the numbers here. So when you go to this website, you will see every day, you know, they posting. Like this is as of the 2nd February 2024. So killed by hunter is 4,477. Plus, there's some people we don't know, we can't count. And also, you will see still detained, including sentence is 220,013. All those numbers are, you know, rising every day. So if you involve, so they will name you, like they will charge you or issue arrest warrant under Article 505. So there's a very well-known article. So at least they will charge you like 2 years to the 7 years. So including celebrities, high-profile individuals, and artists, and activists, of course, and politicians, for allegedly like defaming the state. They thought they are really, they thought they are the good people. So defaming the state and threatening public tranquility through our social media post. So they use that, article to arrest us. So they can arrest us at anyhow. So this time, many artists involved, not only visual artists, but also movie stars, singers, model boy, girls, and writers, poet, and movie, film director, or documentary film director. All kinds of, cultural workers were involved and also were arrested highly than ever, and also left the country for their safety, because they're threatening, once they issue Article 505, you have to run. So here today, I have two friends, Yadanar and Zoncy, were, in safe place, but their families are not safe yet. They will tell you, what's happened to them. And I'm being exiled since 2007, 8, 9. So, but until now, we all three of us cannot really say, what we want to say, no freedom of expression yet. So this is my last slide. So I would like to hand over the floor to Yadanar to share her experience. Welcome, Yadanar. And also, if you have something to edit up, please do that.
Thank you so much, Amma. Hello, everyone. And thank you for the presentation, Chaw. And it is a very strong presentation. And this is the issue that we need to address and talk to the people. And as you know now, is our revolution is getting more and more intense, but it is like a silent war that not a lot of people from internationally not talk about or know about. And thank you, TRANSNATION, for making this happen, to speak about our country. And so I am Yadanar, and I moved to Europe in 2021, April, after the coup d'etat happened in Myanmar. And first, I was arrived to Germany with the artist residency, as Andreas know, then the city near where Andreas live, and it is I live in Germany for 6 months, and after now I am moved to France, and I am continuing trying to talk about what's happening in my country with performance and visual art, and also I try to contact with my artist friend back inside Myanmar and also outside Myanmar. And also, if I had chance, I am talk about it the country like Matt Chaw described before. Like most of the people don't know. People I met here don't even know where Myanmar is exactly and geographically. And then when I talk about it's near India, between India and China, near Thailand, then they kind of have this small idea, but they really don't know. So when they can't imagine it, and they also even don't know what's happening there, the war inside, the brutality and human rights violation inside. So even as exile artists and Myanmar artists that we've been here, for me is nearly 3 years, but even very, very difficult to talk about our country's situation in terms of art or even in terms of news and like everything culture. That is very, very compared to like Chaw explained, compared to other country conflict that people are really hard to connect the situation of what's happening in Myanmar. So I've been here for nearly 3 years, and I always thinking of going back to my country, but it is like the revolution is getting longer. Is also it is now I am accept the fact that it is impossible to go back. As Chaw explained in the last slide, that our friends inside Myanmar, artist friends, especially, they are facing the life imprisonment, and also they are detained in the prison because of their activity. And so it is even for exile artists like us, we were always like worrying that what with our activity that our family will affect, our family or friends will affect of our action, and we were so worried about it. And so, and currently I am, so what I can do from outside, that is I'm trying to talk about my country's situation with art, and the current project that I am doing, it's concerned with the last slide of my Chaw thing, is about the prisoner inside Myanmar, and not only prisoner but also people who were executed during the protest and also during the revolution, after the protest, like in a civil conflict and EAO fighting then. So, but my project is focused on women, but there are, of course, there are also a lot of our brothers, men are inside this revolution, and I would like to share this project very briefly. So I am doing and researching about the project of since 2021 from now, the woman prisoner, the women who are arrested for the political reason, and some women who were dying during the protests, and also after by the across to the military junta, sometimes they go to the villages and burn the village. They rape the villager, the woman, and also their names are untold, and then it is like their life were lost, like without addressing and without noticing. So in this case, that it is hard to find this information, but I try to collect their short text and their picture and try to talk their story. But the way I approach is very informative, and I started this project in 2022, and so far the 100 women, and yes, they are including many kind of profession. They are also artists. They are also actresses. They are also singer. They are also nurse. They are also including teachers, students, and every kind of activity they were involved. And some were deceased, and some were they are 5 year imprisonment, 3 years, and so I will show this the short PDF file of the picture, and also currently that I would like to talk about our friend who are currently in prison, Shindewi, and she is a documentary filmmaker. She was award one. She got award. She is an award-winning documentary filmmaker, and she was accused of having a drone in her hand. Drone is which she used for the filmmaking her project, and they were accused of she supporting the People Defense Force who were in Yangon area against military reign activities, and so they were accused of her, and they put her in the life imprisonment in jail. And this kind of cases, like many cases like this, are happening in Myanmar. That we will address her because she was our dear friend. She is our dear friend. And
Thank you, Andreas.
thank you so much, Andrea. She's our dear friend, and we will so also to our international friend talk about this and injustice. So there is okay, I will talk. Yes, and so Andreas, in the first page of the PDF file. Yes, so this is the drawing I made, and as you see, is the mini portrait of the woman. Some of them I have known personally, and some of them I collected their data from the social local media sources, different sources, and I made them batches, and I wear them whenever I have a event or exhibition in France in here. Then I will talk about, like, for example, I wear the badges, and each story I talk about, if someone asks, and I introduce myself. But like I said, then I introduce us where I am from, where is Myanmar, and after that, what's happening in Myanmar, and then like addressing to someone that I would like to talk about. For example, there is a in the second page, yes. So this girl that I have known in when I was in Yangon, then she was a dancer, a really good contemporary dancer, and we knew each other by the cultural event when the Aung San Suu Kyi, where the NLD democracy period, there are many events are happening, and then the culture and art scene in Yangon is developing, and she was a very active artist, and now she was in prison for now over 3 years, and there is a test about her, very briefly test about her, and then she is still inside prison, and when she was captured in 2021, she was brutally tortured inside prison, and then so this is the only thing that she do is she was participated in the protest movement, and then she was support the protester, and then she with a group with the young group to make the protest movement going with things like this, and then but for this crime she was brutally tortured, and then now it has been in a prison for over 3 years, and we were very worried about her health situation. So it is a brief story about my friend Kim Yang-du. And the second, the batch that is we can address in this modern world, the youngest prisoner, that is the girl who is 3 years old. And okay, you were asked that she won't be participate in the protest movement, but the only crime for her is her father was involved in the protest movement, and actually he was not even in the protest movement. He was participating in the civil disobedience movement, who was not follow the orders of the new military government. So for this reason, and one father was ran away because of the arrest. So they were arrested, the child, the family, the father, and the mother and the grandmother, and they will stay in prison. And she was all three of the family sentenced to 3 years. And so for the this information, I try to follow up they were released or not, but some of the information we were gathered by the media or by the people inside Myanmar, but some of them, some of the women involved in this my project, they were disappear in prison, so could not follow up the later news. So, and this is the, as you can see, there's the picture of the badges that I try to talk about them and try to show in exhibition when I have chance. And but it is a bit of difficult to talk about. And what I face is like most of the tests in reality, it is very brutally to cope or to read with. So some of the feedback I got is like it is they could not show the test in a very open way, or maybe change the test, things like this. So as you see, this is the girl who was shot dead in February in Mandalay, and she was shot in the head, the right. And there are not only her story, there is a lot. So this is my research process, and this is the actual side of the badge, and where I can wear and talk about each woman. And so as you see, this the woman I wear is also, I know her personally. She is a very young active journalist, and she stayed inside the prison. I was always finding that she was released nowadays, because she was arrested in 2021 July, I guess, and I was looking for her information, or she was released or not, but she stayed in detain. She was before she was working for the BBC media, and also as a freelance journalist. And she was one of them. There are many journalists were detained inside prison, and very notorious, and human the level of the condition of very worse condition they were survived inside the prison. So this is my project so far, to address about each person who are still fighting the revolution. But it is like we all are trying to fight in a way from outside of Myanmar and inside of Myanmar. But I would like to talk about this individual that is inside the Myanmar prison, and the person, especially women who were deceased already, and why they will die, or the fact of the something inside what's happening in Myanmar, and to talk about it in this way. Currently, I am collecting more information as much as I can, and to make more badges and more story. Yes, these are this is my project currently working, and at the same time, I am participating, and also with my friends here. Then we were organizing the exhibition, and we working together. And occasionally, I was all participated in the performance, and all the time addressing about in this performance, most of the time I address it about what's happening in Myanmar, my country's situation, and my experience in within 3 years in Europe. That is, we are very in the beginning of talking about the first step of what is Myanmar, and then after the second step, that what's happening in Myanmar, this kind of situation. But like I said, we are trying hard to talk about it, and for this reason, thank you so much, TRANSNATION, to give a space, a platform to talk about or to address about our country issue. Thank you, and yes.
Thank you, Yadanar. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ma.
Okay. So thank you so much, Yadanar. Yadanar also member of I can say like co-founder of MCA, and I saw Mozart here too. So Mozart, Yadanar, and also next speaker, Zoncy, and including me are, try to run the MCA. We call it Association for Myanmar Contemporary Art. We register outside the country. Actually, we were born with the military coup because we planned to launch on that day, but then military seized power and we cannot launch and we cannot register inside the country, which is very risky. But we are I register in New York, but we are now trying to grow the organization and working together as a team, leadership. So now I would like to introduce Zoncy. So Zoncy helped a lot for the MCA because she last year and in 2023, she was in project team and she been giving us like advice and strategy, things like that. So she will explain more about, that, and she will also share her thoughts and experience, about the revolution and what he's been involved in so much, in so many groups and levels. So I would like to invite Zoncy.
Thank you, Machoy Thein. I hope you can hear me well. And unfortunately, my front camera of my computer is broken, so you couldn't see me now. I'm sorry. It is not because I censor my face. It is just my camera broken. So I left Myanmar in 2022 August, 1.5 years after military coup in 2021 February. So I had lived under after military coup quite a few times in Myanmar. At the time, I was working as culture manager at Golden Institute Myanmar. So for 2 years of working at Goethe Institute, I did not represent myself as an artist to anyone, but instead as a culture manager, I supported my artist fellow of Myanmar. So I do performance art mainly, but I like drawing and sometimes sound installation and photography as well. So our country is famous for its longest civil war, which is already over 70 decades, 70. The civil war between the central government, military, and ethnic armed organizations. We have 8 major ethnicities, and each ethnicities have their own revolution armies against military, like Damodar, the central government army. Before it was only the other 7 non-Burmese armies, but now after the coup, the majority Burmese people involved in war, in this revolution and battle. So my people, the Korean people who live between Thailand and Myanmar, like in the south, had long experience as a war refugee. And luckily, thanks to Thai people, the border is open whenever the military coup or big revolutions happen in Myanmar. Thai open their borders to give us refuge. Compared to Thailand, for example, China's suddenly closed their border, all the border gates during the COVID time, and whenever there was armed clashes between Kachin Independence Army and Damodar, they, they do not give proper shelter to Burmese citizens. And in the West, quite different from China, like regional Indian government, like the state government, Mizoram state government, because the government officers are also minority people, minority Mizo Chin people, they welcome the war refugee who are also mainly Chin ethnicity. But then Indian government had very different political interests. So for example, they would evacuate Damodar soldiers and return back to Myanmar. And so after the military coup happened, like artists needed to flee, artists of all kinds, they needed to flee. And the first option was to Thailand, like to KNU area, Karen National Union, which is based on Thai border. And the easier way from Yangon or Mandalay, the main cities, to the border is to the Thai border, to Karen state, the KNU area. And the second option is to China border. So I was in China border due to my family connection, and a lot of celebrities, academic researchers, and the professors who joined CDM movement, all of them, they had to flee to that ethnic liberation area on China border. Especially those who needed to flee from Mandalay and Upper Myanmar region, they mostly travel to China border. But now all the way, all the roads to China border or Thai border or Indian border are totally blocked. There's so many checkpoints, and they are not even allowed to bring you a bandage, to heal the wound or something. So now we're having very difficult time. So it was in 2017 I made this sketch. You could see like how people are very happy and full of hope, and we enjoy the development we are started to see. For example, this NLD party won landslides in 2012 by-election and 2015 general election and 2020 general elections. And there were also there were also very enthusiastic attempt to reconcile between Damodar and its main opposition, which is NLD. That famous reconciliation process, and we had education campaign, nationwide education campaign, and so many creative education expert, and everyone, they joined that reform meetings, a huge thing happening, and Myanmar representing at SEA Games and make some, so you could see that. And at the same time, the abuses by Myanmar central government military in ethnic areas, especially sex crime, sex abuses, were ongoing. And sadly, at that time, not so many civil society members dare to voice about these sexual abuses. And at the same time, with 2008 Constitution, you could see in this picture what I made. This is an old drying tree, but still young leaves are trying to grow. But then this green snake are trying to eat this leaf. That's mean Myanmar military. They trying themselves to keep in the position as the nation builder by this 2008 constitution. And then this was my candidate. I supported a military campaign for a women rights activist in Myanmar. So I volunteered for her since her city municipality election in 2014 and then to her campaign in 2015 general election and then her campaign in 2020 election. With my experience going around the communities with her, exposed me to the position of women in daily politics of Myanmar. So you could see in this picture women sitting behind the man. Very few female got microphone, for like 5 minutes in a 2-hour meeting, something like this. And also there were some women leaders, but they were controlled or manipulated by her male peers. So that make me make a performance piece in 2018 International Women's Day. So in Mahabandula Park in the city center, I excuse me, now let me find a proper. So I make a performance piece where I raise my salon or lonji, our traditional women's upper, lower, skirt, something like this. I put it on top of how do you call the cleaning stick, and I raise like a flag next to the independent monument, because independent monument was signed by the main members. So since after British independence until 1970s, Myanmar women did not really have political decision-making power. And then we had that very extreme patriarchist military regimes, 4 generations, and then we don't have space. So I made that performance. So this is the performance I did. Actually, it was a group performance with Mai and Yadanar. They collaborated and they made that incredible performance together. Mai was wearing, she put the pants, pads and pants everywhere on her body, and over that she wear the graduation gowns. And she was saying that gender gap between women and men in Myanmar and the educational opportunities, job opportunity, and yet now was and I don't remember, they were there all together. And I was cleaning the men from top to toe, the male audience member. I even cleaned some policemen in that performance. So then internet meme maker make a meme about me, like this performance, and he was saying, oh, if you want women development, women empowerment, just raise a flag, a salon flag. So I trying to have a conversation with him. I found him on Facebook Messenger, and I explained my involvement in women work, and but he kept saying oh no, come on, if you want to be useful, you should be useful like women, military, or yeah, like that. So then in 2021 International Women's Day, my other fellow women came up together and agreed to make the salon campaigns. And we were there on International Women's Day 2021. And so in 2022, I made this video performance about my feeling, like my emotional damage, my emotional instability under the military dictatorship. First of all, I did not decide to join in armed revolution because I believed in nonviolence response. I was trained to believe in nonviolence response. And half of my network, my bubbles are from that, from this work. We were peace builders. We wanted to stop civil wars in Myanmar. We created different kinds of campaign. But then sadly, many of my friends from this network became revolutionary soldiers, men, women, anyone. Half of them, they joined the armed revolution, and the other half remained in the cities and supported, the logistic administration, fundraising, and backing gears, So I feel like I'm a coward, like a girl who had sex, like unsafe sex, and then she got pregnant, and she doesn't want that pregnancy, but she did not aborted it, something like that. And then that was another video performance I did with another musician, performance artist colleague. So we were dancing together. We were handing guns over to each other in many rounds. And we danced with that propaganda sound, propaganda song written by a famous musician who propaganda about good things about military generals and their visions and how our country was a golden land and how it was prosper politically, economically, culturally, how we love our nation, like that. And then there was a time where two aspiring artists of our generation were sentenced to death. We did not expect, we expected that would happen to them, They were arrested and we were very worried, like maybe what if military executed them without giving us prior information. So there were like 2 times or 3 times that happened to us, and the news, the rumors came up and we were like, we woke up from night and we saw rumors on Facebook and we were like, what, are they executed already? But then there was a time they were executed. But then the thing is, we were not allowed to show our sadness, like our sorrow, our condolences to their family members, not even in Facebook. So many people are trying to change their Facebook profile into black color. But then at the checkpoints in the city centers or the corners of the streets, they will stop you and they will check your Facebook profile. And if it is black, you were arrested, you went to jail, at least 1 month in prison. And if you are very unlucky, they will set you up, they will come up with a very interesting plot. And then you will become that criminal who betrayed his or her own nation. And then you will serve that sentence, 10 year, 5 year, 7 year, or a lifetime prison. And there are some artists in prison right now who were sentenced to lifetime, because of their one act that they demonstrated against military coup. So we had no space to show our sorrow. So I traveled up to Inle Lake, which is also famous for international travelers to Myanmar, where people rode their boat with legs. So I flew a kite, which is our sorrow, and let it, fly in the air for 1 hour, like more than 1 hour. And then when I moved to Myanmar, I continued that street performance of raising our skirt at the Freedom Speech, like Freedom Square, I don't know, in Bredenberger Tor in Bali. Then, do you know what? Like, I hated myself as an artist. How I am not influential, you know, I'm not famous, I'm not high profile artist from Myanmar. And I don't have big networks to influence that culture institutions forward, to let them organize campaigns against that artistic, that very severely damaged hurting state of freedom of expression in Myanmar. I had no influencing power on them to keep raising awareness about us or do something. For example, Germany supported artists at risk from different countries, you know, millions of euros. But we can count how many artists from Myanmar were benefited by German's support. There's only one artist from Myanmar at the moment in Berlin. She is the only one from Myanmar who is benefiting multiple initiative in this political reason. European Union, I find like Myanmar is just an agenda point at the very below like list on their pages. I'm very upset with our position as a country, you know. We are the poorest in Southeast Asia. And because of Rohingya conflict, we were not favored by international community. I don't know. I felt like we are useless, something like that, no? But then what I see is that maybe artists can express their political concern, can criticize, you know, the betterment of our society as a globe, you know, as a humankind. But then the absolute power is in the hands of politicians. Then my question is then, how can we fight against this kind of injustice in decision making? Why artists have that very few space in decision making, especially in politics, in social space, political space, and people are saying, oh, art is very essential to change society, whatever. But then in the global stage, it is not art. It is about people who has power, wealth, technology, or military power, intellectual power. International community doesn't really care how you manipulated the weaker ones, but instead they will praise you, sweet, you know, sugar-coated words. They will say, oh, diplomacy. This is what I see. But then what I can do as an artist, I find, is that to simply talk about what's happening in Myanmar and just trying to receive their compassionate empathy, you know, the sincere empathy that authentically came up from their deepest heart. So as an artist, that's what I do, what I have been doing in Berlin. By the way, this is my kid, me. And she was there with me. . 。  . 。  . 。 . Yeah, thank you. And if you have any question later, let me know.
Thank you, Zoncy. It's thoughtful, especially the last part you mentioned, your question is really, questionable. That is what we've been facing in the reality. So thank you so much for your presentation. And also, I would like to like you to say a little bit about AMCA to introduce what we've been doing. Can you help us?
Yeah, Machoi and everyone, many members of TRANSNATION is already very familiar with AMCA and the other artist guests. I would like to explain a little bit more about Association of Myanmar Contemporary Art. So a group of artists who create hours under that contemporary art category. We came up together a year or two before military coup. And we wanted to establish an artist-run foundation or association with our own artist policy, just to promote contemporary art education, and at the same time to network with international art community, gather some possible resources and share within Myanmar artists, and also to help artists who wanted to do contemporary art but had not been there yet. So and there are many other different reasons. For example, archiving important artworks of our generations, or publishing important art materials, feminist art, But then on that February 1st, 2021, the same day that military kicked out our elected government, AMCA launched a press release and press meeting, but then we had to cancel it. But then AMCA came out with an artist street demonstration and artist street fundraising for artists, art educator from National Art University and National State School of Fine Arts to help them out, because they needed to run away from the city, they need bus ticket, blah, 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 and so many other things. But then, so before we talk about Association of Myanmar Artists, we had to study a little bit about art ecosystem in Myanmar. People like Andreas, Daisuke, Chagrit, Pidwai, and like many artists who have been to Myanmar, you are familiar with our poor artist ecosystem, like infrastructures. So what happened is that before military coup, we have so many potentials. We have more communication between civil society, non-creative civil society organizations and artist community. Also, we have like artists gather together to defend their right. They establish a small NGO, for example, intellectual property right. How shall we protect it all together? Film people we gather, then they will started to organize their activities. Music people together and then they came up with some agenda. What shall we do in this 5 months? This kind of self-help grouping and establishing came up, and also contemporary art had more connection to international stages. So many hope, and then after the military coup, the larger civil society collapsed. Civil society members had to flee from their habitats, from the area where they used to work occasionally. No, they used to work regularly. They grow a garden, and then the gardener who watered the plant regularly, they had to flee. So something like that. This is a situation. But then art as a small aspect, like smaller, like aspect of civil society happened the same. the leading artists who are also very active, who are also very influential, because they have to flee. The other who did not flee or who flee very late, they got arrested and put in jail. So AMCA was contacted, like AMCA was reached out by an international donor organization if AMCA want to organize something for artists, and that's how we partner with these two Swiss organization. We receive funding from them, and then AMCA members, especially co-team members like Mose, Chaw, Thein, Yadanar, had so many brainstorming meetings to to came up with projects which really support those who really needed the support, you know. And it was really hard decision because the funding is small, and the people who need it is very large, very large. So, and Chaw, what should I say? Sorry, I feel like I'm talking around.
And also last year we've been, you know, helping the artists, you know, inside the country. So you can say just a little bit about what we've been, you know, spreading out.
Okay, so we are, you know, artists, and some of them involved in many organizations. For example, Chaw, Thein, they had that diasporic experiences as well. They experienced military coup as well. They and their fellow artists and activists had to flee the country, blah, 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 and they worked together to fill up the gap in this situation. Also, there are artists who are politically active, and then there are also artist members who wanted to hide their political will or who wanted to, you know, keep low. So when we brainstorm about effective project project development, we had so many challenges among our members, ourselves. And the other challenge we had is that organizational development. As an artist, how should we run AMCA properly so that we sustained international funding? At the same time, we had a good face to both artists who were like both artists members of Myanmar. That means artists in exile, artists who are in border, who are also politically active, and artists inside the country who wanted to keep low. So our beneficiaries, our target audience are very diverse. The greatest challenge is how to fulfill their needs, you know, and and the other challenge is also how to sustain the funding. So as a civil society organization, how shall we artists run it properly? And we work with some experts, and she helped us, you know, organizational development. But we still need some outsider help in fundraising strategy and international networking and communication. So because these are the skills we are lacking. So any of our guests who are attending this meeting, if you have connection, if you have skill and expertise, please share with us now. I think that would be enough, Chaw.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. So you will see all the pictures. We've been doing some activities and projects, you know, in 2023. So I would like to add it up, like we are growing like slowly under this situation. But as Zoncy mentioned, we have a lot of challenge. Even the at least, you know, I can mention like freedom of expression, because in the association we have a like at least like two-sided. One is, you know, involving in politics and revolution, but some want to be stayed away from a little bit away from it because of their safety and the survival things. So whenever we arrange all the program and projects, so we have to concern that is first things to be save everyone. So as a AMCA is running inside the country, but of course we have a, half of the AMCA members are in exile, but we are more focusing on what we can, help the artists who, who lives inside the country, because now it's the hardest ever situation. So that's our main goal, to help them out. So even as a member of, MGA, we are trying to meet each other and connecting and networking as an artist in exile. So we are also try to reach out each other and asking at least, are you okay or not? Because, not easy to even live outside the country because of culture, your income. And there's another challenge for the Myanmar artists who are in exile too. So we have a lot of challenge in internet, external, and organization, our own life. So even the Zoncy, she's single mom, and she's been taking care of her baby, and young a little girl. So it's not easy for the artists who are even exiled, because we have our own, struggle. So well, I would like to end it up the whole, talk and concept as we three of the representing. So what we want to share is, to remember as, we've been fighting for freedom. That freedom is not only about us, but also others people, that we would like to share. This is a situation inside Burma. And also this time, the cultural workers are, more arrested and killed and assassinated. Even the two of my friends, one is a hip hop singer, the military junta, as executed by hanging. So the other one is my, long, friends. He's also, poet. Sometimes we talk, about, postmodern and, modernism in the tea shop. So these two of my friends were executed. So we could not be silent. So we, even though this is a small, a few people groups, but this is very important to have those, the friends today who are attending, and especially TRANSNATION. Also, thank you so much, because since, earlier, the TRANSNATION, it helping us. And since day one, the first week, second week following, so TRANSNATION connect with us and what we can do, what we can help you. So thank you so much, TRANSNATION. You are our very good friends, and we will always remember, because, this hardest time, for each of us, they really need the good friends, because politically, we've been expecting help from ASEAN country, United Nations, but they just, saying like we are watching and waiting and, closely and, but in the reality, we didn't get that big help. But our artist community are, whatever happened, we knew it what to do, to come up, in hand and, always think about what can we do, Chaw? What can we do? So you always come up with that kind of, kind and, generous question to help us. And also today even is also, thank you so much, like Andrea, Daisuke, everyone here, Troy. So all my friends, also including the, attendants, participant. Thank you so much. And I want to hand over to the Daisuke for to explain more about TRANSNATION, what is the role and what TRANSNATION doing. And I learned like TRANSNATION has like 40 plus, the countries, and 170 plus, the artists, around the world as members, including me and, Burmese artists. So I would like to hand over the floor to the Daisuke to explain a little bit more about TRANSNATION.
Okay, thank you, Choi, Yadanar, Zoncy, for very informative presentations. And it's glad that we are still connected at the present time. So TRANSNATION started when the coup happened in Myanmar, because we have so many artist friends in the country, and we wanted to do something to support the people of Myanmar. And that's how we started out. And many artists responded, and we became quite big and created the momentum. Yet we were under the pandemic, so we couldn't physically meet for a few years. And recently in the Philippines, we met together, the core members, and we had very nice gatherings. And again, we recognize the importance of artist-to-artist, individuals-to-individuals connections. So in that sense, TRANSNATION has been beneficial in support of Myanmar. That's what I would like to say. But for today's topic, I have a few questions. 3 years ago, when TRANSNATION started, we had ways of spreading your messages through social media. But now, according to your presentations, none of us would like to put any of you in the risk of creating your artwork or surviving, living your daily lives. But we would like to support and we would like to spread your messages. But we may have to have different strategies or updated ways to support you. So it shall be different from how we used to support you 3 years ago. And I would like you to give us some ideas.
So especially, let me start from me. And the most important thing is to spread out, what's going on there. Start from among our artist friends. And also, we are very limited, kind of like, to work on it, especially when we work with the artists inside the country. But this time, because of coup, many artists were exiled. So more in Thai-Burma border, in the Thailand, and also some are in more in Europe, and in United States more like singer and musician, and also film directors. So what we expected from you all is, at least, to speak out and what's happening there, because Burmese Myanmar, news, what's happening there is not many people knew because of the other information like Russia, Ukraine war, in Gaza war is more influence in media than us. But actually, when you look at our country, in almost, everywhere, people are dying. So what I want to ask from me is, whatever you can, help us, to speak out about what's going on there. It's also the first things, we need. And then the other thing is, as we are like, try to, help the artists, through the AMCAs or whatever, you can think of, you can help the AMCA, like networking and, maybe some kind of workshop, or, maybe probably exhibition or online talk, whatever you can, like do that. We would like to collaborate and we would like to network with the organization. Then through the organization to organization, we can share more information. And then we can also, talk more about, like today, like Yadanar has her own experience and Zoncy has her own experience. So we can share our experience among our artists, the community. And how about Yadanar and Zoncy? Is there anything you would like to, say something for, what do we need?
Thank you. Thank you, TRANSNATION. Thank you, Amma. And thank you for giving us this platform. And like Amma said, I'm on the same page and to talk more about situation in Myanmar. And also for AMCA, that if you have any suggestion, you can give us. We can develop for our continuation. And yeah, this is important to be continuing to talk about it. And like you said, spreading the news and Also, we will be any question. Also, the people here, and some of them are I know personally. Some of them are new friends, and if you want to know anything about Myanmar and any information that from our side we need to provide, don't hesitate to contact us. We would like to collaborate more, and also like Daisuke mentioned about this the safety of each person presenting today. We can even by the anonymity, like the project we used to do in Japan that but to talk about this, what is happening in Myanmar and what kind of support or thing need to be addressed is the main priority. But we should not stop. We keep on continuing talking about it, and then so I think that yeah, thank you for supporting and as for our revolution, our process, and for Zoncy.
Yeah. So generally speaking, what we need now as Myanmar art community is first is that obvious solidarity, just not that statements or just super how can I say, just no, I mean we need more deeper kind of solidarity. For example, we need to continue art education in Myanmar, like 2 art university that has been giving art education, like academic art education for more than 100 years. Also, which curriculum was very outdated, which ended at Impressionism. But still, it's produced at least 200 art graduates every year. But then these students, they join the M Revolution, or they decided not to attend their classes anymore. Also, their teacher decided to leave school. Even if they don't join the revolution somehow, they stay home and they become like freelance art educator, and they continue providing non-formal art education in their own way. So since if any of you here are art educator, you can give us online art classes. For example, people like Andreas who can teach theater making. Also, theater as an art infrastructure is very poor in Myanmar. We used to have very rich theater experience in 1910, 1930 under General Aung San, their student life. There are a lot of theaters at university. So theater is very poor as a genre, as a discipline in Myanmar. So in this way, we can continue theater education in Myanmar. And artists like Ross, who work in political art activism, he can connect with environmental activists from Myanmar and gather data from them and make an art project. For example, I have a poet friend. He is also an environmental activist. He and his other poet friends, they organize annual poetry festival in Aung Ban. Aung Ban is a small town nearby Indian Lake, where I make my flying kite performance. So one of them, the 2 poets I mentioned, one of them was sentenced for 19 years in prison, 9 years in prison. He was a political activist. He was that environmental activist who worked really hard to stop charcoal mining in Shan State. And his other poet friends of mine, he was also a journalist, also a human rights educator. He passed away in KNU area on Thai border. He was hit by a heavy piece of artillery in his head, and he had to flee from the scene and die and now in the forest in Karen State. So And also because of civil war, no, not civil war, because of this current bigger, larger scale of war, nobody had time to bring that very, very, very terribly happening environmental manipulations by companies, you know. There was no data about how much more illegal gold mining projects along our rivers. No data at all. But then still some local or civil community-based organization, they try to collect data as much as possible, and they tried hard to stop that companies, whatever. So also we have very few environmental artists in Myanmar. So in this way, Ras can build his own connection. And the same with Ajahn Toy can connect to our art educator from university and brainstorm any possibilities how to provide scholarship to our students from Myanmar or non-formal art education from Myanmar. If you let me know your expertise, I can give you like some suggestions in detail, like how can you help us better. And as TRANSNATION, I told you networking is very important. You bring your network to us. At the same time, you voice as our representative, as our agent. And Dai Sugel can talk about Myanmar in Canada and anywhere he go because he travel a lot, isn't it? And Ajahn Toy has very good experience of working with Myanmar exile. He had some NGOs in Chiang Mai, also Picha Grid. He has like he lived in that area and met a lot of Myanmar migrants. So please do any art projects, you know, because do you know that psychology of war? This is not military coup. This is war against us and the military. War against that patriarchy, war against that impunity of that military and their elite family members and colleges and blah, blah. And that war against potential of authoritarian capitalism, like China, you know, or Russia, or like, and war against so many, many things. This is not only the fight against Myanmar military, no? So if there any feminist artists, activists, you can give us some more input, you know, as inspiring stories from all over the world, and give us more courage so that we have sustainable resistance. We are very tired, very exhausted now. But at the same time, it is really amazing that the revolution is relaying from Chaw generation to our generation. Before that, she got it from her her seniors, no?
My father. The other day, one of my friends, so she's now living in Chiang Mai, she's poet. She showed me her son photos. And I've been telling her like, oh, he's growing now. But one thing I realized was, and I keep, sending message like, I feel so guilty because we could not ended up, you know, that kind of thing in our generation. But now, new generation, I keep fighting for that. So as Zoncy mentioned, this is not only about Burma, Myanmar. I'm sometimes worried about our region. You know, in our region, like ASEAN countries, members of ASEAN countries, you know, when you checks it out, Malaysia or Philippines or Thai, you know, you will see some kind of different kinds of dictatorship they've been ruling us. So we should like comes out, and we need to talk about that, you know, from countries to region to the whole world. So we have to shout out loud, this is not right. This is right thing is here. You're doing this wrong, and we have to, you know, be like hand in hand and talk about, you know, louder than now. So wherever like Philippine or Thai or whatever happened, we have to come together and we have to, say something as a like, like group or team. Sometimes, single voice cannot hear, enough. We cannot, as Zoncy mentioned, we are not the, superpower guy, no one know us, but as a team, they were here. So I really like the idea what, TRANSNATION brought, among us. It's very important, wherever we are, it's not matter. The matter is what we need to do is the matter. So whatever we need helps among us, we have to stand up. It's no matter where are you coming from. So because we are trying to make, the better world, better life, each of us, and also, all our friends. We need to speak out. We need to work on it seriously. So I would like to share this slide. I've been saving and keeping all the time because it's encouraged me. Can you see the poster? I don't know how to show. Can you see that one? Did I share?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we yes.
Thank you so
Yes, we
much for
see.
Thank you so much for this, This always give me a like goosebump and, energy. As Zoncy mentioned, we've been exhausted because when you look at the like, the situation that you are thinking maybe 3 years. For us, it's not 3 years. 70 years long civil war in Burma. We are the longest civil war, in the world. But no one knows. But because of you, because of the good friends, the people will learn from us not to happen like us, we need to speak out. So these posters always inspire me and give me energy. And thank you so much, TRANSNATION. And is there any question, let us know.